Oh my, we do laugh when we get
We
together,
do
don't
laugh a
we?
lot. We do.
Well, I'm Robin Thomas of Living Well Connections, and I want to introduce you to one of our lovely members, Wendy Taddeucci. And my phone is ringing now, too.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. I'm going to shut it off. But anyway, it's so wonderful to always chat with Wendy because we have so much fun together. We both have a lot going on in our lives. And it looks like we just sort of shared being ill too.
Yeah.
But
You're like,
that's okay.
did you send me your COVID over email? I'm like, no, I don't think so.
I, you know,
I didn't mean
it was
to.
on my calendar. Did you know I had it on my calendar? Therefore, if you opened up my calendar, then it was like, there it is.
I
I
guess.
think it actually was better this week than next week because I'm going on vacation next week. I
Yes.
don't want to be sick during it.
No, you do not.
No. So, do you want to introduce yourself? Wendy has this wonderful community for caregivers. I'd like to
Oh, sure. Yeah.
quick intro.
Okay. So thank you, Robin, for inviting me. We always do have a lot of fun together and we love to laugh. And I hope that we'll touch on that today, the power of laughter, especially when you are taking care of a loved one and trying to run your life and possibly your business. Like sometimes laughter is just the best medicine.
Yes.
And we laugh a lot together. So I am Wendy Taddeucci. I am Coach Wendy. I think that's the easier way to say who I am because my last name's a bit of a mouthful. And I have a business called Her Aging Parents, Her Thriving Business. And I started that business because what I was noticing were entrepreneurs that give up their dream of running their business because I now have to take care of my aging parent. And I don't believe anybody should ever have to give up on their dreams. And I believe it should be not an either or, but a both and. And so I help those entrepreneurs that are simultaneously running their business and taking care of an aging parent to look at, to kind of assess the, not to kind of, to for sure assess the current situation with
Hmm.
their aging parent. Because when you are able to do that, instead of what I typically see are entrepreneurs that are running their business, taking care of an aging parent, and they're constantly getting pulled away from their work, from their life. Ooh, problem
Mhm.
popped up. Okay, I'm going to step away and fix that. You come back, you're like, ooh, great, I fixed that. Great, now I can get back to work, no problem. Oh, another problem popped up.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that and being completely in reactionary mode, when you step back, take a pause, and identify, okay, this is what I need so
Mhm.
that my business is running well. And when I say what you need, it's okay, is it a mindset shift? Is it a system? Is it a strategy? Is it a spreadsheet? Is it a person? What is it that you need? And then looking at what would my aging parent, what do they need so they can be happier, well adjusted, have what they need at this time, which also makes your life easier as the child of that aging parent, which yeah, we want that.
A lot easier when they're happy.
It is a lot easier when mama's happy, everybody's happy. When mama's not happy, oh Lord. And so then once we get that piece figured out, that assessment, put things in place, then we can look at the business. Because oftentimes what I find with entrepreneurs running their business while taking care of an aging parent, they are struggling with converting clients. They are struggling with finding their ideal clients because they keep losing that focus and that work time to
Mhm.
problem, problem, problem,
Mhm.
problem, problem. And once we get that assessment and things in place, then we can take a look at the business, right? And what's the major roadblock? What's the big bottleneck? We can identify that and the steps to move forward so that you are making the money you need to be making in your business, because being an
Mhm.
entrepreneur is no joke. We don't get a paycheck weekly from anybody else. We are our paycheck.
Right. We're,
Um,
we're our own boss. We
oh
we
yeah.
have to.
And that's
I
good.
mean, we do need to tell ourselves that, yes, we need to be, we need to work and we need to find a way. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. So that's me. And the community that you so beautifully mentioned is my community in Facebook. And I encourage you to join us. If you're an entrepreneur who is simultaneously taking care of an aging parent and running your business, the group is called Taking Care of Business and Aging Parents. And so join us for resources, for community, for some laughs. So thank you for asking about that, Robin.
Yeah, yeah. I'd love to know. Well, I can kind of guess. I know that you were taking care of your mom because we've done mom stories before.
Oh, we have mom
We
stories.
have plenty of mom stories, but but what caused you to want to do this? I mean, were you taking care of your mom and were you working and decided to start a business, or did you have a business already? I mean, what happened?
What were you thinking, Wendy? What did you? Yeah.
Well, see, I started my business in the midst of having to leave. I can't have another phone. Is that your phone now? Oh gosh, it's my husband calling.
Hi, husband.
I'll talk to him later. I was working and I left my job in research to care for my son, not my parents, not my mom and dad, but my son. And so there I was like going like, I don't even know how to run a business. Why, why did I do this simultaneously? I don't know.
Why did I do this to myself? Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot. And why I decided to do this, kind of a long story and kind of a more recent story. So my dad passed away when I was 6 years old. He was the caregiver to my grandmother who lived next door to us as I was growing up. And what I found out in my 20s was the real story, right? So he was taking care of grandma, and he was an entrepreneur. He was a farmer. So that's no small thing. He was running his own business and farming. And he was experiencing some pretty severe pain. And instead of going to the doctor, he decides to take my grandma's prescription pain medicine. Grandma passed away. I was 5 years old at this point. Yeah. Grandma passed away. He finally went to the doctor. The doctor diagnosed him with stage 4 colon cancer. They could not do anything. It was too far gone. So a year later, he passed. I was 6 years old. So my mom tells me, this is what happened to your dad in my 20s when I can understand. And I was just like, no.
Yeah.
And later I more fully developed that no into, you know what? It's not acceptable that any caregiver should have to sacrifice their health, their life, their business, any of it. It's not, no. And then when I was 37 years old, I had to step into caring for my mom very suddenly. Did not see, well, I kind of saw it coming, and I just kind of went
kind of denial.
Like, no. And then whammo, it really, really came to me. I'm the only child, right? And so I had to step in and make decisions and move on. And I didn't know what I didn't know, because none of my friends were going through this. Doing it myself, I had no idea where to turn for support.
That's a pretty young age to be going through this too.
It was a pretty young age. Like, I was still trying to figure myself out at 37. I don't know. Are we ever figured out totally? I don't think we are, because it's done at that point. And through that journey of me trying to figure myself out, toward the end of that journey, I was like, you know what? I want to help other people just like me that are, because I was self-employed, right? I was a coach even back then. And although my coaching has pivoted into this, right? Back in 2020, but I said, you know what, Wendy, you need to help others that are just getting into this, that did not see it coming. Maybe they did see it coming and just this has turned their life and their business upside down. You need to help them. And so it's my mission in life to help get this 1 million 1 million individuals that are running a business and taking care of their aging parent, so that they don't give up on their dreams, so they don't sacrifice their health, their lives. None of it. It's not acceptable. So that's why I do what I do.
And a big dream, but you know, with today's world, you can do that.
That's my goal. That is my goal. So that was kind of a long story, but that's how I got into this.
No, that's good to know. Because I think we've glossed over that part. We've been on, you know, when we talk, we mostly talk about what's happening today.
We just jump in. We just,
what are we doing?
Right?
What are we doing? But yes. And then you're such a connector. You really are good at, you know, getting people together to work together, collaborate.
That's a lot of fun. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the icing on the cake.
Ooh, red velvet, buttercream frosting. Okay.
Okay, there's cake for dessert tonight.
There's cake for dessert. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
But anyway, well, that's great. That's great. So, your community, you're really looking for entrepreneurs, but you know what? What's very interesting. I've discovered that my community, who has a lot of people who are just interested in health, but also entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
The ones that are entrepreneurs in health are caregivers par excellence. And they're not only taking care of their parents or children or other people's children or just everybody. I mean, and they get overwhelmed too.
Absolutely. My gosh, they've got it from every single side.
Yeah, they get it from every side because they're going along, and the one thing we need to pay attention to is taking care of ourselves.
Yes.
So you mentioned something, I think, before we started with the recording, something about one of the things that you think is so very important in taking care of yourselves, and it's not the usual. It's not the, you know, eating right and exercising. It's not that stuff. Can you remember what it was?
I'm going to ask you, what did I say?
There's a hint. Laughter.
Oh, laughter. I'm telling you.
Take time to, you know, have fun. Do something that makes you laugh.
Yes. And
something that's funny.
I'll give you a prime example, talking about mom stories. I think I've shared this, maybe I didn't. But my mom is a bit of a character. I did not share this particular story, maybe. You know, going out with mom in public is always interesting. And in the beginning, I was just like, oh my gosh, what is she going to say? What is she going to do? I have so gotten over that. And at this point, if she does something wacky, I just kind of laugh and look at the horrified person that's like, I'm like, isn't she cute? And that's because what else am I going to do? I cannot control what she does.
If you were 7, you'd go, bless her heart.
I mean, she's 87 years old and she has no filter. And so I'm like, you know what, girl, so we went to a restaurant for Mother's Day, Easter, don't remember what it is. Get there and she says, I have to use the bathroom. Fine. Okay. Get her in the restroom. And I said, I'll come back and I'll check on you. Okay, fine. I think this was before she had her rollator. She might have had a cane, maybe nothing. I don't remember. It was a while ago. And so I go in a few minutes and I check on her and she's washing her hands and I look down and I'm like, hey, you've got toilet paper stuck on both shoes, not just one, both shoes. And she says, I know, the floor is sticky. And I'm
so
like,
that was on purpose.
Well, yeah, she did that on purpose. I said, you're going to slip because it's a wood floor. It's highly glossed. And I swear they just like shine this thing up and made it even slippery. I'm like, oh my God. So I got her by the arm and I got her back to the table. I'm so afraid she's going to slip and fall. And she's not taking that toilet paper off her shoes. Fine. Not going to argue. Get her seated. And the woman at the next table is coughing. And so mother looks at her and she says, would you like a cough drop? And this woman says, no, it's just allergies kind of thing, whatever. Okay, fine. So we're having our lunch or brunch or whatever it is. And this woman still is coughing. And out of the corner of my eye, I see mom rummaging in her purse. And I didn't think anything of it until she pulls out a cough drop and throws it at this woman. I'm just like.
And was it wrapped or was it?
I'm pretty sure it was wrapped, but I'm just like, and my husband is having a fit because he typically doesn't go with mom and I on outings. So he's like not expecting any of this. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I just and I looked at the woman and I went, isn't she cute? Because what else am I going to do? And we just continued our meal. And then not done yet. So finished the meal and waiting for the check and Steve's paying, credit card. And so I look over and mom has the pepper grinder and I think she had a plate and she's just grinding pepper and making a big pile and making a mess. And I'm just like, okay, well, and I looked at my husband. I went, this is what an outing with mom is like. And I'm laughing about it because I choose to laugh about it. Yeah. Steve does not find it nearly as funny as I do. So laughter is the best medicine because I could have chosen to be like,
he could have been mad.
No, it's not going to serve me. It's certainly not going to serve her. And we're laughing about it now, many years later. I still laugh about it. I mean, she's just, so the joke is always, should we get your mom a pepper grinder for Christmas? Because she seems to enjoy those.
Enjoy that. So she can do her own.
Gosh.
Well, those are fun. The restaurant ones, the big ones, they're kind of fun.
I think we might at some point get a pepper grinder. She enjoys that. But yeah, laugh about it. Because really, what's your alternative? To be upset, to be angry? Doesn't serve anybody.
Yeah, that's my brother taught me that too.
Really?
He was always good. It was like, he was the brother that had milk coming out of my nose. I was laughing so hard at the Thanksgiving table, no less. I think I was probably 4 or 5 years old, but he was just so funny. And now with our mom, he can come visit some. I'm the primary caregiver, but he can come visit some, and he's just like, when it gets to a touchy subject, he said just turn it into a joke. Yeah,
really. Yeah. Exactly. That's the best way to do it. Like mom will be talking about something and she's like, oh, I just tripped or fell. I don't know what she was talking about the one day, and I said, well, mom, you been drinking again? And she just laughed, right? Because it's so much easier and so much more fun to laugh.
Yeah. And you feel good afterwards.
Exactly.
You feel good after laughing. You don't feel good after being angry.
Because we take ourselves way too seriously. Right?
We do.
And we are way funnier than that. So just laugh.
So I had lots of laughter the past 2 weeks, but that's okay. Things happen. Funny things happen. So when do you work? I know what you do in the group, but when you're working, do you coach people individually too?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. That's really the majority of my clients. I work with them one-to-one because it's a very personal thing. And a lot of folks, they like the support. Some like the support, and that the group is the best option for them because they get the best of both worlds. They get one-to-one, they get group support with community and individuals that are going through very similar things. So they feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one that feels like this. It's worried about that. But also some individuals just are like, you know what, Wendy, I just want to work with you, head down, focused. Let's figure this stuff out, right?
Yeah. I'm sure it depends on where they are in the process. or the personality too.
Well, personality's got a lot to do with it. Because I myself, I like one-to-one coaching. For myself, right? That's my sweet spot. So, I meet people where they are and with what they need.
Good. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So how can people get in touch with you?
Oh,
What's your favorite way for them to get in touch with you?
yeah, my favorite way is my website, which is
Okay.
coach-wendy.com. And from that site, if you are struggling with managing your life and your business with your aging parent, there's a free gift for you that you can implement on your own. Awesome. Or you could download it and go, hey, Wendy, that's great and all, but I need some help with this. I gotcha. No problem.
That's fine. Yes. Yeah. It gets them started, gets them thinking.
Exactly.
Gets them started.
Yep.
That's wonderful. Well,
That's
good. And I'll make sure I'll post this under our video too.
Fun.
So people don't have to remember. Because I tell you one thing about being a caregiver, you get distracted. It's like you may not, well, if you're already ADHD or ADD, there's one thing. But if you aren't and you're a caregiver, you're going to be.
Going to be distracted. Absolutely. And grace. Just give yourself so much grace with that. My gosh.
Yeah.
It's darn near impossible to remember everything. So give yourself grace, right?
Absolutely. This has been delightful. I do
agree.
love talking to you.
We have so much fun, Robin. I enjoy talking to you every single time. I'm so glad that we met. Gosh, way back in the spring.
Yeah, I know. It was so interesting.
I don't know what, this is going to sound kind of odd, but I don't know what my life would look like without you in it. You've become just kind of that, one of those people that
that's great to hear.
In my universe.
I love that. And we have met only on Zoom, but there's still a connection. There's a strong connection, and I feel it. And when I met you, it was like right away. Oh, I like this person.
Oh yeah.
It's
Same. One of these days we're going to meet in person when we're both healthy.
Yeah.
No
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Well, this has been lots of fun. I'm going to share this in my community, but I'm also going to share it across my social media platforms.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Lots of fun because, this is a way that other people get to know you and see how much fun you are. And they'll go, hey, I want to reach out to Wendy. I'll make sure I put your contact information.
Oh, thank you so much, Robin. It has been my pleasure and always such a good time and so nice to talk to you.